hear me? Mary, thank you for joining us.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Okay, and then there's no echo. Beautiful. We did have to restart. I do see everyone's comments look like they're still up there. Can you see?
Yeah, I see all the comments.
Okay, awesome. Good. Welcome, everyone. So now we're good and there's no echo. So we can start again. So while we're waiting for everyone to come back in, we just want to say thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeling tonight. Thank you so incredibly much for joining us and for giving us the most aligned information that is needed for each person watching so that we can assist on their personal ascension paths. Thank you for giving us love and for showing us what love and dedication really is. Thank you for showing us compassion. And thank you for teaching us because these are all different aspects of everything that they have taught me on my individual ascension path. And these are all different things that I've written about and posted about online and in multiple platforms. It's, truly the process of ascending. It's real and it's real life. And it looks just like this. It looks like clicking
Hmm.
on your live stream and there's so much of an echo that you have to start again. And that's okay too. It's okay to start again. And it's okay to pick yourself up and to do something new and to make something great. And that is what we do when we ascend because there's going to be hurdles and roadblocks and things to overcome that is part of the human experience. And it is truly in having experiences just like we had tonight and overcoming the little technical difficulties, release, and allowing the people to see, look, this is what we do. We're going to continue no matter what
Hmm.
happens. And I used to say this in Mary, I used to say this in the earlier videos, because we had errors happen. Like we had the microphones got muted, things like that. And we
Hmm.
weren't able to speak. And then, but we persisted. And that is what we do because, when you think about the ascension knowledge and even the topics that we're touching on today, in my heart, there's nothing more important than this information. And that
Hmm.
is because the second that we really truly know that extrasensory abilities are real and each and every one of us has the potential to activate them, no matter what that looks like. And I see it constantly in my life. I see people activating different extra senses. Telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, shifting through timeline expressions, shifting the time on the clock. I see this. You get in the car and all of a sudden your hour road trip takes 20 minutes. It's like, well, you shifted through the multiverse is how it happened. So,
Hmm.
there's nothing more important than that because it's liberating and it's giving each of us our power back. And it all starts from within the self. So, whenever we start to see anything come up that looks like you're stumbling or things aren't going smoothly, it's okay to try again and it's okay to realign yourself to things. Yes, it's absolutely beautiful. So we just want to
Yeah.
say thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeling session tonight. Thank you so incredibly much for guiding all of us and for allowing me to be a channeler for you guys. Thank you so incredibly much for bringing forward the best information that's in alignment for all the people here watching. And we are very grateful and very, very humble. Yes. Thank
Yes.
you, Mary, for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, even though you're in a small box today,
I
that's
know
okay
my
too.
camera. Did you
Yes.
want to talk a little bit about the pink moon coming and and how the moon can have possible moon changes on people? And actually, it said that um, particularly it will affect people with bipolar. That's what it said it could. So did you want to
Okay.
address a little bit of that?
We can. We are going to do the Om first.
Okay.
So what we do is we do a gentle Om, and the gentle Om allows your hearts ever so gently, dear ones, to open, to expand, and to allow a connection between you and your higher self to form. This then allows for a type of collective consciousness grid to form between all individuals watching this channeling. throughout time and space. For dear ones, it allows us to activate a smaller form of unity consciousness, which then allows the highest frequency channeling to then come through for each of you today, as well as any individual watching in the future. And yes, there may be some individuals who watch twice. You will receive secondary download codes the second or third time you watch. 4, we see you and we know who you are. We are sending different download packets, which shall then expand each time you watch this video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, dear ones, take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. Thank you, star people.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Do you see Nancy Hadley? Small box, big heart. As Mary's in the tiny box.
Yep.
So cool.
So did you want to talk about a little bit about the moon and how it could have possible mood changes?
Sure. So what the moon does for each of us, it sends a type of frequency that is known to affect the waters of Mother Earth. Anything that affects on the macro level is also going to have an effect on the micro level. So the micro level is your body, your individual body, all of the cells in the body. The macro level is the Earth, as well as the solar system and anything beyond our civilization. When the full moon then triggers a type of density release, it allows for any darkness located within the energetic grid structures to be released from your field. This then may automatically trigger different cycle repeats to form. A cycle repeat is any experience that has come multiple times in your lifetime. This, dear ones, allows for you to go through the ascension process very rapidly. For when you are given an external density release, it then allows you to clear any emotional imprints located both within the energetic grid structures or your imprinted cellular structures. Both shall have an effect on your individual manifestations. For anything that is imprinted in your physical body shall start a process of manifesting a level of density into the outer world as you see them. This may look like the different age coding on any item in your reality. For example, you may have, let's say, a pen, and that pen may look old because you've had it a long time. However, that is simply a density code. That code may be modified by your will, as well as changing your conscious frequency within the biological form allows for you to radiate different density codings for every item, person, place, or thing in your simulation. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, star people. So the specifics of this full moon, Mary, did you want to touch into that?
It's just a pink moon. It's going to be further away from Earth. That's about it. And it just said that it could have possible mood changes on people.
Well, that happens with every moon. But
I know.
the mood changes, we have to realize. So if we took a look at the way the energetic grids flow, let's say, for an example, this aspect of your energy grid may be connected, let's say, to your heart. Every single full moon has different solar or zodiac alignments present. Therefore, that particular type of energy coming off of each moon is going to reflect off of the energetic grid structures differently, allowing for different emotional imprints to be triggered for release. What this looks like is you may have an emotion come up, and that emotion may have been imprinted from the age of 20. This then emotion may have remained in the background. You may not have been aware of that cycle repeat. However, certain solar energetic alignments may come along and they may trigger that aspect of your energetic grids, which then starts the process of allowing that imprinted traumatic code to come to the surface for you to recalibrate, dear ones. This allows for any and all memory files that are containing lower densities to be brought to the mind of the ego self. This is an opportunity for each time you cycle repeat. It allows you to walk through that experience again. And when you walk through it a second or third time, it allows you to choose love. For when you choose love, it then clears said emotional imprints. A process of neutralizing these emotions is key. For you must hold a code 23. That code 23 is two emotions, three emotions: positive, negative, and neutral. And the two is a polarity. So as I do these things, so shall you. For you must be the experiencer and witness someone else experiencing said emotional imprint. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
When we started the show, you said you wanted to talk about dark objects.
Okay. So do you want to tell them the experience, or do you want me just to jump into dark objects?
Well, I have this crystal that somebody gave me, and I buried it for 7 days. And I'm pretty sure that it's the reason why my camera is not working because I pulled it out today and it's still giving me trouble. So I'm getting rid of it.
So we are told and taught that when a crystal needs to be recalibrated, it is okay to place them into the earth. It's okay to bury them in your backyard and then wait a little bit of time and then pull them back out. You waited 7 days, so sometimes we can take them down to the beach and recalibrate them that way. We wash them in salt water. The Star people just had me do this within the past week, actually. I took all of the crystals in the house and I took them all to a big bowl with salt water in it, and with the conscious mind, I love and bliss you crystals. I reprogram you to your original programming, or whatever program that I have programmed into you that is locked. That's okay to remain. So crystals, we can program them. I want you guys to think of a crystal like this. Inside all of the cell phones and the technology, we use quartz crystals because the quartz crystal holds memory. So that's what's inside the memory chips for the most part. Now, when we start to identify, okay, the crystals are holding the memory. So what are we doing when we take that crystal and we wash it? And with a conscious mind, we are telling the crystal, clear, cleanse, come back to positive polarity. So then all of a sudden the crystal is going to say, okay, now it's I'm washed, I'm clean. How do we feel after we take a nice shower? It washes all the darkness off of us. So the crystals, they go through the same exact process. There's different ways of handling each crystal. Some crystals cannot get wet. And in that case, I would use sage for an example. Or even the star people are saying, dear ones, there is one particular individual here who has a very special crystal. This individual, yes, you know it is you, is recommended to use rosemary leaves. For rosemary leaves are going to generate a particular type of frequency, which shall help in said abundance manifestations. You will know the crystal, dear one, for it will make your heart sing true. Thank you. Thank you, Star People.
Thank you.
Hey, rosemary leaves. So they showed me as they were saying it, a crystal on top of rosemary leaves. It
Yeah.
wasn't really dry. It was more like green, fresh leaves. But the dry ones may also be utilized, dear ones. Thank you. Thank you, Star People.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for that clarifying. So the dark objects. Now, to get back into that topic, it's very interesting. We, as conscious creators, we can take any item, literally any single item, and we can create a light object or a dark one. This happens naturally with all of our stuff, regardless of how we feel about, calling it a light or dark object. I personally prefer light objects because I like to send my love into my things and I like them to reflect back a higher density. But the truth is that we're able to program any emotional imprint into any item at all. So what we do is we start with the crystals. Now, when we take a crystal and we send that love and that blissing into the crystal, whatever emotion that we are sending directly into the crystal is going to go through a process of reflecting that emotion code. So, for example, the star people said that there was an individual here focused on abundance. So, you may take a crystal and you may program the emotion code of, I am fully abundant. That is an emotional imprint. Now, in order to actually imprint it, you would want to get very, very excited. Something that is a very high frequency emotion, it doesn't necessarily, the polarity of it, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It's a higher intense emotion. So whatever emotion you're using, it will still have an effect. This is why we do not recommend getting angry at someone and then screaming and cursing at them, because you're imprinting their body very strong when we are using the type of languages that we use. Just be aware and just feel into it. But getting back to the crystal, when we get really happy and excited and then we send it love, or we choose an emotion. So an emotion is not only happiness, sad, it's really anything. So what is it that you want to be in life? What do you want to manifest? I am a magic teacher, and then send that into the crystal. You don't only do it once, because of the level of time and space and the way that we flow through time and space, linear. We may choose to do it over and over and over again. And this is what the mala beads are for, because it is getting you to focus to do it over and over and over again. Because the more and more you send that energy into the crystal, it's going to amplify that energy. And then when you are holding or interacting with that crystal, it then is going to reflect back the exact emotional imprint that you have casted into it. This may be done on a wide variety of ways. For each emotion coding may also be a person, place, or thing, dear ones. So if there is an exact experience you wish to manifest, you may see that experience. You may become very happy and excited inside your body to have said experience. You may then cast that emotional thought into the crystal. You may see it, you may smell it, you may feel it, and you may thank the crystal for accepting that imprint. That crystal then may also choose to form a type of crystal talisman bonding. This type of energetic blending or bonding occurs when the crystal is given away twice and the crystal chooses to come back to you. However, dear ones, the type of emotional imprinting that we wish for you to become aware of also allows for you to energetically cast this type of bonding into the crystal. So anytime you are casting a direct imprint into the crystal, it may be chosen for you to create a crystal talisman bond. This way, that emotional imprint shall only reflect onto yourself, allowing you to be the primary individual the crystal is radiating the new frequency coding towards. This then, dear ones, allows for any secondary individuals who are around your body form to not be affected by your crystal's frequencies. For some individuals may not be in alignment with your manifestation. They may not want to be a teacher, for an example, and that's okay too. But you do. So you may assign your crystal to only reflect back that frequency at whatever intensity as you so see fit towards your own energetic grids or biological form imprinting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Thank you.
Okay, did you want to get into the book now?
Sure.
Okay, the first one is page 55, the light refractal system.
Mm-hmm.
The human form consists of a light refractal system of lenses and veil densities. These lenses include each of the primary chakras and the star field points of light reflection. This system allows for a center light tubule to flow down into the biologics and reflect outward into the stimulation. The center tubule is also connected to the dark matter Merkaba field and shall allow a reflection into the mirror dimension to refract outwards as well. The flow of light may be adjusted at any one of these vortex points. The primary chakra system, being one such example, shall allow for significant changes to timeline expression when any type of frequency modification is encoded onto the veil lens. The veil lens allows the energetic imprinting into the light systems, which then shall, in time, affect the physical body and reality as one.
Yes. So we are the light refractal system. I'm going to get to your question, Mel Annie, in one moment. The light refractal system, I want each of you guys to visualize your soul form comes down and just imagine it as a singular light tubule, but it's covered in darkness. And the darkness is your dark matter Merkaba field. That's what makes up the outer edge of our aura field is the dark matter. That dark matter is connected to the black holes. This is how the cycle repeat process forms because we trigger emotional imprints through the energetic grids, and any fear-based emotions, it kicks through the back of the chakras and it generates through the rear of the chakras, dear ones, and then it starts a process of imprinting your energetic field. This then allows your dark matter Merkaba to accept the imprint of the fear-based emotion and send it into a void space. Yes, the black holes are connected to the void. This whole process is energetic and quantum entangled. It works faster than the speed of light. There, it allows for you to start a process of manifestation of your entire physical reality coding. Dear ones, the light refractal system allows that center soul tubule to reflect outwards each of the primary chakra subsystems. What this looks like is a band of light within the center of your body. This is also known as the Kundalini channels. There are 6 total Kundalini channels in the biological form. This allows for a connection to earth, air, fire, water, as well as all of the other elements in subcategories. These are located on the 4 sides of your body: north, east, south, and west. The center 2 channels are connected to your electric systems as well as your magnetic systems. Once again, the center Kundalini channel is connected to dark matter. Dark matter is what allows for any darker emotional traumatic codings to manifest into your physical reality. For there must be a balance between the light and the dark. Each of you are made of both. When the individual starts to learn how to refocus your energy in the light tubules, it then allows your level of awareness to radiate out one of the primary chakra subsystems. Dear ones, this allows your soul form to generate a level of awareness, let's say in the pineal gland. The pineal gland then shall show you more spiritual of an awareness compared to an individual who is radiating their direct awareness out of, say, the root chakra. Someone in the root chakra may be more focused on the physical reality. There are also different levels of density located within each of the chakra subsystems. Each of the lenses located within the center of the body, which connect to the center soul tubule and the individual chakra tubules, contain 3 lenses. These 3 lenses then start the process of reflecting out into the ring system. Your ring system makes up your biological form, your location grid, and your civilization ring. This, dear ones, is a refractal system. It allows you to shift the light, and to shift the light allows for different density patterns to be held in different aspects of your simulation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Okay, so someone asked why I say bliss instead of bless. There was a thing in the second book, Keys to My Ascension, where someone had brought it to my attention that to bless something is to be less. And that was the analogy for it. A lot of the English words that we use, the actual meaning of the word is very similar to like the word mourning. So when we mourn something, it's like you're very sad over something, and yet we're saying good morning every single day. So instead of that, we can choose to say grand rising, or now I've been using it happened in the AM. That one's a little tricky though, because it catches you sometimes, but it's just being consciously aware of your words, because your words literally manifest. And the second that you're aware and you see how the system works. So for me personally, I've been working with the Star People on imprinting, and you guys know I do the attachment clearings with everybody. I do sessions. So they taught me what it looks like to have an imprint of, a very specific emotion code, and then literally to see it manifest into my waking world. So I see the system. I know how every single word reflects and how it works. I have the basics. They're much more advanced than us, but I can see how the system works, and I've had experience in the system. So now they're helping me to cultivate the words I use. So with the emotion codes, so that now we're summoning bliss. And bliss feels good too, because bliss is such a high frequency compared to being less. So that's why it's like one of those things where we change the words, because we are, attempting to manifest into the higher frequencies. And if we can make small changes, it's those little changes that add up over time. And it really, you guys can craft a whole new way of speaking. Yeah, I know me. If I look back even 2 years ago, my entire vocabulary was completely different. I wasn't talking like this. We went through a whole process of learning to adjust my language skills to be able to speak more eloquently, more sophisticatedly. And that's part of ascension as well, if you choose to activate that. This is another reason why the Star People, they encouraged me to not change the sophistication of the words that they were giving in the books, because they said just by interacting with the higher frequency words, it has the process of raising your frequency. You're changing the way your brain waves flow, because now you're triggering yourself into higher frequency words. We take a look at the TV and on all the movies and such. All that is at a 5th grade or lower reading level, which is great for that time and place. But what happens if we start listening to really intellectual words? Now, all of a sudden, your brainwaves and your thought stream are going to be more in alignment with more intellectual patterns of thought. This then opens up for philosophy and sitting down and having spiritual conversations, and all sorts of high frequency experiences are going to manifest to you just because you've changed the words that you use. We know this. If you walk through your world speaking very, very eloquently, you are going to attract more of the like frequency. So we make the tiny changes that add up over time, and we don't have to like climb the mountain in a day. We just do the tiny little steps, and we are happy with ourselves. And when you do that, you'll look back and you will notice that big changes were made. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Okay, the next one is page 56, and it is the spiritual aspect of physical gatekeepers.
Yes.
In the human experience, one may notice physical gatekeepers manifest at some time along their journey. A physical gatekeeper can be an individual that attempts to put an energetic blockage in place, allowing for an emotion code of self doubt to manifest. This may look like a loved one expressing the emotion code. You can't do that. Did you want me to go on?
Okay. Yeah, read the next one, next paragraph.
These gatekeepers are a blessing in disguise, for it is the universe manifesting a test of sorts. This test allows the individual to select one or two paths, rise above the current frequency and density held, or cycle repeat back into the lack brick of consciousness, thus
Yeah.
repeating all of the lessons in that brick of consciousness again until the gatekeeper block is busted through.
Yes. So I didn't get this on so many on one level. I didn't get it. Release. I've had experiences before where I was in alignment to like have something manifest for me that was positive and would have potentially opened doors. And then in my thoughts, it was all of the negative thoughts. And I felt like the people around me didn't want me to do that. So I shut the entire thing down. I was like, oh, they don't want me to do it. I'm not going to do it. But what is that? That was a gatekeeper test. And if there's a part of you that is like, no, I'm going to do it anyway, you can do it. And this is a gatekeeper test. Now, what this post is talking about is an actual physical person in your life. There's always one. There's always, not always, but release always. There's usually a gatekeeper present. Anytime that we are going to set our minds to do something big or something great, like let's say you're going to buy a car and the car looks like it's very expensive. You may have a person step up and may tell you, you can't do that. And then it's like, well, wait a second. Yes, I can. And then you push through and you continue to go. When you push through and you make it through that, it's a block is what it is, a gatekeeper test. It's like a trial and tribulation. You're not supposed to give up. If you really want the thing, you set your mind on it, you allow it to grow and expand, and you own it. You make it yours and you do it, no matter what it looks like. You know, now we're also taught to watch our alignments. So sometimes we may set our eyes on something and there will be like 100 roadblocks. And it's like, well, that's not an alignment for me. That's not what this is. This is that one person telling you, no, you can't do this. Even if it's 4 or 5 people telling you, no, you can't do this. Let's say it's your family members who know you're crazy. We've all heard that as star seeds,
Mhm.
right? But you have to keep going and you have to do it from your heart because whatever it is, it's that important to make you either know or just shoot for it and know that you can get it. It's a gatekeeper test, is what it truly is. Now that you know this, take a look back at your life. And I want you guys to like see, ask the higher self, when have I ever failed a gatekeeper test? When was something in alignment? And then all of a sudden, it was like I blocked myself or I stopped myself from doing this or this when these things could have potentially been very, very good for me. When did I stop myself or hold myself back from expanding into whatever it was that I was going to do? Just ask yourself, is there a way that you can go back into that moment inside your mind and your body? There is a way to do it. You just close your eyes and imagine it. And as you're going through it, talk to that younger version of yourself and tell that younger version it's okay that you didn't break through the gatekeeper test. I'm telling you, you could do it. And just imagine her or him doing it. What happens is, in the now moment, the you sitting here who failed the gatekeeper test in the past, when you recalibrate and you hug that younger version of yourself and you tell him or her, it's okay, you could do it, I believe in you. Now, all of a sudden, you're shifting the energy inside of yourself. And
Mhm.
what happens when we do that? When you come out of the meditation, now you know whatever was in alignment, you could do it again because the alignment was there once before. It will reform for you. Put your heart and soul into that and just see what happens. Yeah,
Yep.
it's beautiful.
The next one is the physical aspect of gatekeepers.
Okay.
Um, I'm getting to
Oh,
it.
that's like the same thing. I think I just covered that.
Yeah.
This one is primarily talking, not to cut you off, Mary, but
Okay.
this one is talking about attachments being gatekeepers. So the attachments are energetic beings. So on occasion, this happens all the time. You may have an attachment latch onto you, and the attachment will push the emotion code of I can't. Just as an example,
Mhm.
release. but it will have you triggering your own emotions inside so that you become that person telling you you can't do it. You become that person in the inside, in your thoughts, and the way you feel, your emotions, all that stuff. It's another gatekeeper test, right? So sometimes we may not feel like getting out of bed. Sometimes you may not feel like you can be a success. And it's during those times when we can identify, oh, maybe that's an attachment. So how does it make you feel? I feel like I can't. We say the word release. We forgive ourselves. So something the star people have taught me is the phrase, I forgive myself for the emotion code. Say your emotion code and then say the word release. The word release, we are releasing the attachment off of our energetic field. These attachments trigger different emotions as well as they push different thoughts inside of our mind telepathically. They are beings, they are entities, they have families, they have social circles, houses, all sorts of things. They're real beings. They are very real. We can hear them, but they sound like your voice in your mind a lot of the times. It's not something that we would have ever expected to be an actual being that's tampering with our thoughts, but this is what it is. I've had personal experience over and over, especially in my sessions. I see things. So when we start to clear them off the field, all of a sudden, your thoughts, they become very calm. So if you guys have any emotions triggering you over and over and over again, start talking to the emotions and start telling the emotions, release. What's your name? What's the actual emotion code? Call the emotion code, say the word release, and then see how your body feels. Sometimes you may burp, you may toot, you may have belly gurgles, you may feel the energy shifting around in your body. That's all the attachments leaving your system. So just be aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot. Actually, when I meditate, if I
Uh-huh.
after I'm done, I'll go and I'll start burping. So I know
Yeah.
that it's the stuff coming off.
Yes. And if you eat like a higher frequency food, and
Mhm.
this is the reason why some cultures were taught to clap and applaud when people burped after they were eating their food. And it's because when you eat, and it doesn't even matter if it's one drop, you could take an essential oil and you could sit there and meditate with it and imprint it. And I mean, I'm talking like you push so much light and so much love into this essential oil nonstop, and then take one drop. That's all it takes. And you'll feel the attachments come off of you.
Mhm.
You can also, because now there's two different types of imprinting. There's a crystal, which is giving a frequency, which is reflecting on the outside of your body. That's the external circumstances, because this is outside of you. But there's the internal circumstances. And so we take the water and we love and bliss the water. And then when you drink it, it's doing the same exact thing. Now, what happens if you are doing the love and the blessings over the water for a week? What happens when you have an entire group of people all sitting around meditating around a case of water for an hour? And then all of a sudden you take the water bottles, you pass it out, and you have everyone drink their water. What happens then? You're going to feel the attachments release off of you, but also whatever emotions that the group was sending
Mhm.
in is also going to resonate into the frequency of the cellular structures of said water, dear ones. For that water generates a type of sacred geometry inside its layers. This then may also start the process of activating different world among worlds expressions. This allows for the magical creature kingdom to be summoned quite easily for all individuals here. We wish for each of you now, because we have generated a unity consciousness field around this entire channeling. We wish for each of you to rewind at a later date and to acquire either a glass of water or a bottle. We wish for each of you to send that unconditional love into your water and speak the words out loud. Thank you, dear water, for activating unity consciousness. Thank you for allowing the humanity consciousness grids to activate into the fifth density very gently, very easily, and very peacefully for all. We also want each of you to send many love and blessings into the water and thank the water for unlocking your memory grid complex. This then allows each of you to remember who you truly are. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. They said the word want. That word want, they're correcting. So whatever was said in the last channel bit, the word want is they're saying to error correct it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. You remember that video of there was a bunch of people standing around a coffee table or something, and it was glass, and all of a sudden they all sent energy to it, and it broke.
Oh yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
We can change the flow of atoms and molecules. That
Mhm.
imagine a boiling water, right? So the atoms and molecules inside the water is under a state of frequency. With the power of our mind, we are able to change or modify the frequency programming in the water. This you can sit down, you can meditate with the water, and you can make it boil. It can be done. I mean, you're just shifting the atoms and molecules in a simulation in which everything is quantum entangled. And so the power of our minds and our energetic castings, we're able to do things like this. How long it's going to take each of us to either see it or do it is up to each and every one of us, because your belief systems adds veils onto your manifestation. So if you believe it's going to take you 2 years, it may take you 2 years. From what I've seen and from what I know in my heart, when we start to remove the veils, all of a sudden we could see through the simulation. I see it. I know it. I see it. And when the more and more we start to clean our densities, we start to look and we start to see, like, the magical creature kingdom is already here.
Mhm.
All we have to do literally is clean the darkness off of our field. And that comes with stepping into more love, more self love, more self compassion, removing the attachments. That's always the first thing. Remove the attachments and dive into your emotional imprints. What traumas are you holding? Uh, Release. It's okay to forgive yourself for the traumas. I let it go. Just let it go. What judgments are you holding towards yourself or towards the outer world? Let it go. And then shine love and light and come into neutrality. The more we're able to do these things, the more we start to lighten the veil system and the more we start to see through the simulation. There's different techniques of shifting density codings, because density, like the star people are saying, we started out saying this in the beginning of the channeling. Density can make something, any item, look old or new. It is the level of happiness or the high frequency of the item. We can change that already, and it comes from our emotions. So the
Mhm.
more love we send, the higher the density goes. The higher the density, the happier we are. That's why I always release. I choose to shoot for love in the frequency bandwidth because it makes us feel good and it brings harmony and peace amongst all individuals in that energetic. It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the first book that you did with the energetic grid structures, it says that you could do your chakras every day, that it's important to do them every day. Is that still the case, right?
Well, you can. Yes, you can do your full energetic. So now the star people have me personally focused in the energetic tubules. So
Mhm.
the chakras are the lens systems. And you have to realize the star people have me going through it's like a training. It's like, here we went through the chakras in this book. This one we're doing the tubules. So this way I learn and then I write about it. And this way I give you guys the information, and then I'll work on something else, and then I'm writing about it, giving you guys the information. So for me, it's turned into a journey of learning, and it's turned into
Mhm.
a huge spiritual toolbox of different things that we could do to the energetics that shift the real waking world. And then not only that, but I'm even learning all these emotion codes. And it's like, it's all the trauma that we've walked through in this life and how to imprint them and what it means and what it feels and how it manifests from my level of awareness. So the star people can see where the imprint goes, but I see how it manifests. And in time, I'm sure I'm going to be seeing from the other angle, right? Of, we put something here and here's how it manifested into your real world. So, but it's a polarity thing, as I do, and then I will witness someone else too. So this is how energy works, and it's just a blessing to be able to talk to you guys, and I know you guys all understand it because we've all been on the path with the star people for years now. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand a lot.
Yeah. So
It's so
comprehend. They're saying we comprehend. When we, it's another one, Malan. When we understand something, you are standing under the authority of
oh,
that word. Yeah. And so if, let's just say any word, if the frequency of, what's the word? The frequency of happiness is here. Bliss is up here. Happiness is here. If we're standing under happiness, it works like a gatekeeper. We won't go any higher than happiness. So we want to have access to the full range. So you guys may notice they are helping me tremendously to cultivate the word may. We may choose. We choose, right? You may witness. You may perceive, because it's allowing the opportunity to choose the entire emotional scale. So we may see happiness, but we're not standing under it, because then it's like a trap. You the second that you see the frequencies, you'll I was gonna say it, I was gonna say understand. You'll comprehend it, because it's like, oh, okay, well, happiness feels like this in the body, and it radiates the nervous system net in a very particular pattern. But bliss shifts the nervous system net totally differently. It's more in the head and expansive. So if happiness only triggers here, triggering the nervous system net then starts an imprinting process and starts to manifest. So we want to have use of the full emotional scale, because then it allows us to shift the nervous system net differently. The nervous system net, it controls everything. So it's the macro, it's the micro of the macro. When we shift the nervous system net, it shifts the outer reality. And the nervous system net is first before the actual imprinting starts. So you could hold a crystal, any crystal. Wait a second. I'll pick this one. This one says gratitude. You can hold a crystal and close your eyes, and you may feel the energy inside your body shift differently. It's ever so subtle. So you really have to close your eyes and feel. And when you feel it, you'll start to feel the energy move differently. When you clean up your attachments and you readjust your entire energetics, and you start working with the energy, you may start to feel the nervous system net shift per crystal you pick up. You may even feel it shift per word that comes out of your mouth. That's how serious the manifestation is. Serious release. That's just the way it flows in the energetic field. So the second that we can identify this, it's like, wow. So if I use the word blissful constantly, then my nervous system net is constantly going to be triggered into blissful. The repetitiveness is the same as a mala, for an example. 108 times us speaking something, it starts to program the meridians and ley lines, and it starts to trigger the nervous system net to hold that frequency. For an example, if you tell yourself, I am strong, your nervous system net, it radiates out in the arms. You can feel it. It feels like your arm energy gets a little more expansive. The more and more, you may have to say that a bunch of times throughout the entire day and feel it. And when you feel it slip back in, say it again. I am strong. You feel it pop out. This is what affirmations do. And we do not only affirm I am strong, or the baseline emotions. I am, and whatever job you guys do. I am this, I am that. And it starts to shift every single thing in your waking world. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to not believe it, but when I first started doing affirmations, I found this channel and it's the breath of life. And I started doing that and I felt a pop in my heart as I said the affirmation. And that's when I said, this is all real.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll only take you a time or two to have one or two experiences before you're like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
The very first crystal I ever held, I was still It was back in my dark days, is what I call it. I was still very much a cripple. I was smoking cigarettes, drinking soda, the whole story. And, I kept having this little voice that was me in my mind, right? And it kept telling me, go get the crystal in the car. You're not using it right. And I kept ignoring it. I ignored it for like a week. And every time I went outside to smoke, I kept hearing, go get the crystal in the car. You're not using it right. So finally one day I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get it. So I got the crystal. By the time I held it and I got back to the front step, it was like 15 steps away. I felt my Kundalini energy discharge. And I was like, what the heck was that? Something just happened. And that it led me down what is a crystal, right? Why is it doing this to the body? And like I had to research and I dove in deep because I had never experienced anything like that before in my life, right? To feel your Kundalini energetics rise just out of nowhere from touching a crystal was like, it was amazing. And then I've seen someone else do it. Now, from my level of awareness, I know what happened. All of my chakras were slid out. So your chakra can be either in the center, and I'll show you guys, it could be out to the left or it could be out to the right. And depending on where the chakra is, it's an imbalance in either your energetic systems or your magnetic systems. Your magnetism is your feminine energetic systems. They're on the left-hand side of your body. Your chi energetic systems are electrical in their nature. It's on the right-hand side of your body. This is why most of us are righties, because you are energetically casting with that right hand. Your magnetism is your emotions. So a lot of times we're pulling the emotions in, and we are casting outwards. This is this is why we put the hands on the heart and the belly button, because it generates cohesion within this system, dear ones. This type of cohesion generates a form of energetic grid, which then allows for any imprinting to be vortex through the heart chakra specifically. For your heart, the physical material itself is also a vortex in its nature. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything is vortexes. So the entire chakra system, it works like a vortex. Vortexes out, it vortexes out the rear of the body. It vortexes out the top of the head. It also vortexes down at the lower end as well. And then we connect through different poles. We have a positive, we have a negative. And then this system works like this, like two. Two energies come up, and then it circles around. So this is something the star people have me do during my energetic sessions. When I clear on the one-on-one sessions I do. I go into the energy field, and then I'm pulling the Kundalini channel systems to see, is there any breaks? Is there any misalignments? I go into the chakra systems. Yeah, we see, are they slid out to the left, out to the right? There's so much information that you guys can observe just from looking into someone else's energy field. And it's like you just close your eyes. And yes, in the beginning, you may have to just imagine. But the funny thing is that when we are imagining, the inner child activates and it's real. Now it's a process of trusting yourself. When I first started doing my sessions and the star people had guided me to do the energy work on people, I sat down and then all of a sudden one day I look back and I was like, wow, the majority of everything I'm writing down, they comprehend it all. And it's like spot on. And the star people are like, yes, because when you learned and the more you believe, the more it becomes real. Now I know. And the second that you know, it's like you can close your eyes and go right into someone's energetics. And it's like, what's happening in there. You could feel it. Now I'm at the point where I can even feel their attachments. So what emotions do they have latched onto the field, or are they running? So some emotions come from the heart. Others are on the field pushing inwards. It really just depends. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we have to talk about the Costa Rica retreat.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
Good. Thank you. I did post in the, what do you call it? The little chat box. I did put, hold on. It's the puzzle again. TikTok has a puzzle thing you have to stop and do. In TikTok, no, not TikTok. In YouTube, I did put the link to daniellelipton.com for the Costa Rica retreat. So anyone who wants to come, we are doing it in June. And it is going to be, I believe, 7 days. So it's on the website, daniellelipton.com, and you guys can come. We're going to be doing different activations, different breathwork journeys. There's so many different spiritual things, as well as different channelings from the star people. I'll have a look into your energy grids. We'll see what personal messages come across for each of you. It's very I love doing them. So like the excitement, it gets there. And to be in nature, there's going to be different forests to do hiking. There is a waterfall local. There's tons of water, hot springs. So it's definitely going to be a healing and rebirthing journey.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you. It does. So the shadow work Zoom, we normally start at 8:30. We're probably going to start it at 8:40 tonight. So we'll give ourselves an extra 10 minutes. That is complimentary. Anyone who wants to come, you are more than welcome to come. Just send an email in to daniellelipton.com and I send you guys a shadow work link. That link is good for any and all of the sessions we do. We usually do them after the lives on Thursday. So feel free, guys, to come. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you
a
to the star
blessing.
people.
It's a blessing. See, I caught myself.
I just wrote it on my glass. I just wrote it on my cup. I love and bliss my water.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say
Well,
the other word anymore.
yeah, for the second book, for Keys to My Ascension, the star people brought that to my awareness. And I was like, we say blessings. What are we going to change it to that's going to sound good? And there was nothing. And then all of a sudden, it was like we went through a solar alignment, and they were like, "You can use the word blissing," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds amazing!" So all the pages are many
Yeah.
love and blessings. I was like, "I love that." Of course, it manifested. So thank you guys for coming tonight. I am sending you all many, many love and blessings. Thank you, Mary, so incredibly much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love
Okay. I will.
everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us, guys, and we will see you next Thursday. Thank you.